Well, hey! Eddie said you boys would be coming out today. Oh, you know Eddie is Edwardo. That's my cousin from way back. When we were little boys, we had a lot of good times together. So he wanted you to see the farm today. That's good, yeah. Well, this here do you know what kind of tree this is? This be a mulberry tree. I'm excited about this tree because there's a lot of free food on it. And you can spend a lot of time working hard out under the sun, raising raspberries, and then guess what happens? The raspberry dies. Terrible. So this nothing seems to bother it. Just come out and eat it for free. 3 years ago, I got interested in this here tree. Came out with my little quart box, picked a berry, picked another berry, and it took a long time. So I said to myself, what did the old timers do? Well, my uncle, he talked about they'd lay sheets out under the tree and then shake the tree. All the mulberries would come down, and then you go in and you eat them all. So I'm going to show you how to shake the mulberry tree today. You watch. I'm going to go up here. We laid out our plastic, and I'm going to shake the limbs, and the birds won't get them all. That's how it goes. Now, you hear this? That'll all be food coming down. Oh, it's a good one. Getting lots of berries. Can you hear that? That be the birds screaming, "Dad, my berries! Don't eat my berries! Don't take my berries!" Woo! Woo! Lots of berries. So you can see how much fun this would be. You need to find a mulberry tree near you and shake it. Well now, this was a really good berry gathering. We got all kinds of berries here today. This may be my best mulberry gathering ever. As you can see here, we have all kinds of berries here to work with. And my goodness, you're also going to notice that there's a lot of creepy crawlers in this batch. We got spiders, ants, sticks, leaves, but that's okay. We're going to clean all that out. Now what I'm going to do is load this into these dish pans and just watch how I do this in case you need to ever pick your own mulberry tree. I'm going to kind of tuck this under like this so that we've got a nice little lip. I'm going to put the dish pan here, waiting the big harvest, and I'm going to put that over here and work this toward the dish pan. And you can see the dish pan is dwarfed by the amount of berries we have. So we'll put this right here, and they break up real easy. They smash down, so I try to roll them rather than grab them. Okay, we'll show you what it looks like here when we get all the dish pans filled. So, as you can see, nature wants to provide for you. Look at this. Eddie is going to be so proud. Back when we were kids, we'd get like, you know, a little container. But I've been managing this tree. I pruned it out. A big tree fell away from it, and it's got lots of sunlight. This is a happy tree. If you look at this, nature wants to provide for you. You just have to help take care of nature. So this is going to be a big day of work trying to get this ready. One other thing that I learned this year about mulberries is this. Mulberries aren't just black. There's other kinds of trees. I went over to my ma's house. She was like, let me show you my mulberry trees, honey. I was like, okay. So we walked out through the fence row eating mulberries off of little trees that we came to. We came to one little tree that it just had white ones on. But I was like, I tasted a couple. Lo and behold, one of them was very, very sweet. So I tried another white one. It was sweet too. This is a white mulberry tree. I've never seen one of these before. So we had discovered the first white mulberry on the farm. Then I found another one over here. Other years I thought this mulberry tree is simply just not ripe, and I didn't know anything about it. So I missed it, and it was there all along. I missed it, and it was there all along. If I was a philosopher, I'd go more on that vein, but that's all I can say. Now, on the other side of the farm here, I was watching a mulberry tree that was much longer than these. Mulberries might be twice as long, and I found ones that were all red. And I thought, hey, you're not fooling me, mulberry tree. You might actually be ripe. And I tasted it, and it was ripe, but it was red and had a different flavor. It was very tart. So this year I discovered white mulberries, red mulberries, and of course we keep harvesting the ever popular black mulberry. This is your typical, tastes like mulberry, kind of sweet. The white ones are super sweet, but no flavor. And then the red ones, they're not very sweet. They're tart, almost like a lemon. But if I were to mix all these types together, you're going to have some good tasting stuff. Now, Edwardo, as you know him, he wanted me to say how this relates to art. I'm not really in that branch of work. I'm a farmer, of course, and I guess if I had to say this relates to art, I'd say you'd take this big, beautiful dish pan and you'd paint it, and it'd be a still life painting. Now, if you were me, you'd eat this big dish pan full, and in the morning, you feel really bad. A little visit to the bathroom, you know. So, thanks for coming out to the farm. Before you leave, we're going to show you how we process this stuff. We're going to try to make this into a syrup. I'm going to run it through a juicer and some other things to make. Eventually, I'm going to try to make mulberry juice, mulberry jam, mulberry eat fresh, just like right out of the container in your cereal, and mulberry in your apple butter, mulberry applesauce. So, we'll meet you in the house. Thank you. Well, here we are cleaning them out. We filled our tub with water, and you can see there's a lot of dirt in here. We're just looking for the leaves, the sticks, the bugs. Everything else can go in, because I'm going to juice these, and so it's not super critical that we get. I used to pick out the pink ones like this, or some of the lighter ones. That's not so much needed. We're going to just juice them, so this will be fine. Just picking out the leaves, the sticks. And a good way to do this is kind of get a handful, kind of roll them around. There, I see a leaf. I'm going to kick that out. Throw the berries in there. Don't want a stink bug in here. That'll stink her all up. Okay, we are in here. We got them all washed up. It took a good while, but I wanted to show you how we juice these things. We just take big handfuls of them and we throw them in this here thing. It's going to get loud. Just watch. Going to get loud. See those berries going in? We got pulp coming out one end, this end. You got all this seedy pulp. And you got the juice coming out down here. Nice dark juice. So that juice is going to taste nice. It's going to be somewhat sweet. And this, I actually take this and I run this through a second or third time. It's just your choice how much you want to get out of the berry. You just run it through a couple times and you start to get this nice purple juice. So that's that step. Okay, here we want to show you some of the final products we got. We got mulberry cobbler, we got mulberry syrup, which is just cooked down mulberry juice. You can see here it's pretty runny yet and it's boiling at a good rate, just putting off lots of steam. Over here we got mulberry syrup just about done. You can see it's a little thicker. It tastes real sweet and real nice. And then another way to do it is put it in a slow cooker, such as this. And you can see mulberry juice. Hold on a second, let me get my spoon. Mulberry juice, and it's a lot runnier. And this will cook down to about a quarter of what you have here, if even more. So we were able to process a lot of berries today. We hope you had fun and enjoy that mulberry. Well, hey, you guys went out to the farm yesterday. How did you like it? It was hot? Well, yes, it must be hot to grow all those cucumbers and watermelons and cantaloupes. Yes. He showed you mulberries and he picked them with, oh, he said that there were types of mulberries that he discovered he didn't know about. What colors? I know about black mulberries. There is white mulberries. Oh. What do they taste like? Very sweet. Oh. And red mulberries? That's pretty exciting. Oh. He said they had been there all along, but he didn't see them. You're saying that he wants you to believe the trees were invisible? Invisible? No, certainly not. Bernie would not say that trees were invisible. I think what he's trying to say is, let me explain it this way. When you were a baby, did you understand that there was such a thing as a constitution in your country? No. How about calculus? Well, no. Of course not. You only knew that you liked to drink milk, sleep, and make little cooing noises. Right? Yes. So, you know, the world had all these things that you could not comprehend or begin to understand. But they were there all along. You just did not see them, so to speak. Yes. You understand more today than when you were a baby? Of course. When you are 60, will you understand more than you do today? Well, yes, of course. So, most understanding that we get in our life is gradual, over time, layered upon layer, kind of like a tree. A tree starts out small, it adds little rings every year as it grows, until one day it is a great tree of knowledge or tree. So, but occasionally, knowledge is like coming into a dark room. You cannot see anything. Just stumbling around, trying to see. It's like you're blind. And then you get the light switch and I see so much more than I did before. And life is so much better. You say, oh. So today there are many realities and powers that we do not understand. It does not mean that they do not exist. What do I mean? Well, what do I mean? Electricity. For thousands and thousands of years, man lived on this earth. No use of electricity. Did that mean it did not exist? Of course not. They did not know how to use it. Only recently put up power lines and bring it into the house and have electric appliances. Another one, radio waves, frequencies. You tune in on the right thing
and you can send sound through the air. Who would have thought? It's like poof, magic. But it's not magic when you understand the technology behind it. Pretty cool. So there are many things left undiscovered for us to discover, for you to discover. Yes, you. Many more chances for people to say, "Ah, we were so stupid. We were so blind. How did we not see it?" Yes. I have a perfect example of that. Give me 1 second. Where was that? Let's try this one. Oh, there it is. I found it. I found it. I want you to tell me what you see when I show you this picture. Okay, what do you see with this one? I'm going to give you a little time to just look, see, digest the visual knowledge. Okay. Well, I want you to raise your hand if you see a old woman. How many of you see an old woman? Oh, that's a lot of you. Yes. Now, I want you to raise your hand if you see a beaver. Just kidding. I want you to raise your hand if you see a young woman. Yes, some of you. Now, let me point out to you the old woman. This dark, this is her like coat, and here is her big chin and a big nose. Got a little eyelash, and this is her eye. This is her hair. She has this cloak up over, right? That is the old woman. Now the young woman is one that I had trouble seeing a little bit more than the old woman. I had trouble seeing it for a long time. Now young woman, look closely. Now, right here, the young woman, this is also a cloak for her hair, and this is also her fur jacket. Now this is her neck with a little like a necklace on, a little band. This is her jawline, her chin, her cheekbone, and her little bit of a nose and an eyelash. The young woman is looking out at that, looking away from us. This kind of becomes her ear, and she has her hair in this cloak. She has a little feather coming up here, and she's looking out that way. You see? So if you hear people saying, "Ah, I see it now," that is a sign of their perspective has just increased. They now see something they did not see. Let's do another one. Here we see, what do you see when you look at this? How many of you see a rabbit? Oh, there's some of you. How many of you see a duck? Yes. So this one's a little easier. You got the rabbit head with the eye and the ears. And if you look at the other way around, this is the beak of the duck and the duck's head. So, wow. Interesting. But hey, I gotta get back to my painting, and I'll see you next time. You come to Art World.